Bonjour, comment allez-vous? Hello, how are you? Welcome back to my YouTube channel Learn French with Anubhav. If you have already subscribed to my channel, press the bell icon to get the latest updates. In today's class, we are going to start with a new topic, transitive and intransitive verbs in French. So we are going to discuss what are transitive and intransitive verbs, then we are going to take a few examples, then we are going to discuss that which verbs in French are transitive, which verbs in French are intransitive. Right, so this is what our today's agenda is. Though the main objective of this video was to ask you guys, since on 21st May 2022 there's this CBSE Term 2 exam of class 10 French, right? Now I have uploaded around 10 to 11 videos, revision videos for Term 2 paper. One more video I will be doing which will be a comprehension video where I will be taking a video, where I will be taking a question and I will be discussing some tips and tricks for comprehension passage. So that video is finalized, I will be uploading it soon. But talking about other topics, let me know which topics needs to be discussed again or which sort of videos you want. Since the time remaining is left, we need to do something quick. Right. So that was the main agenda for today. Hence, I have started with transitive and intransitive. Moreover, transitive and intransitive verbs, this topic, the knowledge of this topic is required for the topic which we are going to do after class 10th exam, which is active, passive, and then we are going to discuss about auxiliary variable verbs as well. Okay, so fine. I guess we can start with a discussion on transitive and intransitive. So transitive means a verb accompanied by an object complement. Now that object complement could be direct, could be indirect, which we will be discussing later. Intransitive verb that has no object complement. Now what does it mean? Having an object complement, not having an object complement. This will be clear when we will be discussing the example. Okay, so we are taking an example here. Pauline achète son billet de train. Okay, Pauline achète son billet de train. It has the verb acheter, which means to buy. Pauline buys her ticket, her train ticket. Okay, ticket of train ticket. So, if we ask a question here with the verb that what did Pauline buy? We have an answer. Son billet de train. Elle achète son billet de train. Right. Second statement. Now she is traveling by train. She must be packing her luggage, her baggage. Right. So Pauline fait la valise. Sa valise. Suitcase. Okay. Pauline packs her suitcase. Now this is the verb faire, which means to do. To the context, it means to pack. Okay. So Pauline fait sa valise. What does Pauline packs? She packs her suitcase. Right. So in these two statements, we can have a counter question of what? Right. You can frame it other ways as well. Like a question can be framed with who as well. Like who bought train ticket? Pauline bought. Who packed this thing? The suitcase? Pauline. Though we generally ask question with what only, like what Pauline bought or what Pauline packed, right? Like that. We ask the question with the subject and the verb. So in short, transitive verbs have an object, right? Now let's discuss about intransitive, which don't take an object. In intransitive, we have a verb that has no object complement. We have already discussed. They don't take an object. For example, now the train arrives, right? La train arrive. Okay, so Pauline bought the tickets of the train. She packed her suitcase. Now the train will arrive. Right. Le train arrive. What the train arrives? Or what does the train arrive? Does it make sense? Can we frame a question with the subject and the verb with what? Can we? Can we do arrive something? We cannot. We can't do arrive. We arrive. We can't do arrive. That's what it means. Like the intransitive verbs, they stand on their own. Right? They don't need an object to complement them. They stand on their own. And we can't really ask this question of what. So le train arrive, simply the train arrives. It's an intransitive verb here. Okay. Here the verb arrive, which means to arrive, stands on its own. Fine. Now we shall move to the next point. Usually the verbs that take être as the auxiliary verb in passé composé are intransitive. Now I have used the term usually. It's not like all the verbs are with être are intransitive. No, not like that. Some verbs can change the auxiliary verb as well, which we will be discussing in the next point. Usually the verbs that take être as auxiliary verb, like you know, in passé composé or any similar tense where we need an auxiliary verb, generally we decided through passé composé only, right? It's either être or avoir, right? Être means to be, avoir means to have. This Dr. Mrs. won the tramp or the advent group, whichever you follow, those verbs along with the pronominal verbs are conjugated with être, right? And all the remaining verbs are conjugated with avoir. But what if I tell you that there are some verbs which can switch their auxiliary verb, right? Like there are a few verbs which are conjugated with être, which can even have their auxiliary verb as avoir. Okay, so this is a completely separate topic in in a different sense. Okay, it's a completely different topic. It's known as auxiliary variable verbs. Okay, the verbs which can change their auxiliary verb, right? Now I'm just like kind of a trailer. I can discuss a few verbs, right? Or like we will be having a comprehensive video later as well, right? So for example, monter, to climb, then we have monter, and then we have descendre, to descend, right? So when the auxiliary verb is être, intransitive, and when it's avoir, transitive. It's like when the subject is doing the action using this verb, then intransitive. But if the subject is doing that action through some sort of other object, okay, that's transitive. This thing we will be discussing in detail in one of my future videos. Once the class 10 exam is over and the answer key is also uploaded, then we can discuss about it, right? And let's just quickly recap once again in Hindi. Okay, transitive verbs and intransitive verbs, ये दो तरह के verbs हमने discuss कर लिया. Transitive verbs वो होते हैं जो verbs एक object complement के साथ आते हैं, ठीक है? Object complement के साथ आते हैं. Example हमने क्या लिया? Pauline achète son billet d'avion. Oh sorry, the train. Pauline achète son billet de train. Pauline ने क्या खरीदा? Pauline ने टिकट खरीदी, right? Pauline fait sa valise. Pauline ने क्या पैक करा? Pauline ने सूटकेस पैक करा. तो ये क्या और what? ये हम क्वेश्चन फ्रेम कर सकते हैं. In the case of transitive verbs. In case of intransitive. Example हमने क्या लिया था? Le train arrive. The train arrives. Train पहुंच गई. ट्रेन क्या पहुंची? Does that make sense? क्या इसका कुछ मतलब बना? नहीं, right? ट्रेन क्या पहुंची? हम क्या पहुंचते हैं ऐसा कुछ होता है? नहीं होता, राइट? We simply say arrive. It's not like we do arrive something. No, we simply arrive, not we do arrive, right? So intransitive verb हो गया वो। ज़्यादातर केसेस में जो एटर के साथ जिनका पास्ट कंपोजिट होता है वो इंट्रांसिटिव होते हैं, बट आई सेड ज़्यादातर केसेस में, नॉट ऑलवेज, राइट? बट कई बार ऐसा भी होता है जो ऑक्सिलरी वर्ब होती है वो चेंज हो सकता है, राइट? देयर आर फ्यू वर्ब्स एटर के साथ जो जब वो सब्जेक्ट ही वो एक्शन कर रहा हो देन वो इंट्रांसिटिव होता है, वो एटर द ऑक्सिलरी वर्ब लेता है, ठीक है? और जब वो सब्जेक्ट किसी और ऑब्जेक्ट के थ्रू वो एक्शन कर रहा हो देन वो ट्रांसिटिव होता है या वो वर्ब लेता है, ओके? ये जो टॉपिक है ये हम डिटेल में एक अलग से वीडियो आएगी क्लास 10 का एग्जाम हो जाए टर्म 2 का 21 मई 2022 को, एंड देन we will be discussing this topic in detail. There will be one video for sure. Fine, this point we have discussed. So a few examples of transitive and intransitive. Okay, though transitive and intransitive there are many verbs. Of course, you can take these verbs in consideration as examples. We can also add dormir is intransitive. Okay, dormir, how intransitive? Dormir means to sleep, right? We can't do sleep something, right? We sleep, we can't do sleep. Like, what sleep? I know it sounds a bit weird, but how can we ask like, what do sleep? What does sleep? No, right? We can't frame a question like that. Dormi, then sorti can also, again, adjective verbs, they switch sometimes from intransitive to transitive when they are doing that action to some other object or to some other object. We shall discuss it later in another video, right? And Adi way also we have already discussed. And with avva, not with avva, I'm talking about a transitive. Transitive, we can write telephone to someone, right? Then obey, to obey. Then we have écouter, parler, talking to someone, talking about someone, right? These verbs take a complement, right? Now that complement could be direct, it could be indirect. Okay, so this brings us to the point of the types of transitive verbs. One is direct and one is indirect. Okay. Transitive level, transitive direct, level, transitive indirect. Right. Direct, indirect. Fine. Now we are taking four statements. Monsieur Legrand keep Delhi. Monsieur Legrand pense à sa patrie. Monsieur Legrand parle de sa patrie. And lastly, Monsieur Legrand part. The verb party, which means to leave. Okay. So Mr. Legrand quits Delhi. Mr. Legrand thinks of his homeland. Mr. Legrand talks about his homeland, and Mr. Legrand leaves. Okay, fine. Now, what Mr. Legrand leaves? Delhi. So it's transitive, right? It does not have any preposition like are or the. Right, so this type of transitive is direct transitive, okay? Simple. Monsieur Legrand pense à sa patrie. What does Monsieur Legrand think about? Think about his homeland, right? Transitive, but this would be indirect transitive because we have the preposition now. So, indirect. Monsieur Legrand parle de sa patrie. About what Monsieur Legrand is talking about? Like, Monsieur Legrand is talking about what? he's talking about his homeland, right? So this is also what? Indirect. So pensée and parler in this case, I'm not talking about like the whole sentence is indirect, whole sentence is indirect. No, I'm just talking about the verb. That pensée and parler here are indirect transitive verbs, right? And quitter to the in the sentence is direct transitive verb, right? And the last example, Monsieur Legrand part. Monsieur Legrand leaves work. It's, yeah, simply. Monsieur Legrand leaves. What does Monsieur Legrand leave? We can't really answer that, right? Monsieur Legrand part, it's simply intransitive. Okay. Oh, I wrote in French. Fine. Intransitive or write in English, both ways it's fine. And transitive or intransitive. Right. So, this was your transitive and intransitive verbs. Now, in this comment section, in this video's comment section, or I might post something in the community tab asking for the videos which you guys want for your exam. Okay, I will try to do that as soon as possible. And I will be beginning with active and passive and other related topics very soon once the exam gets over. So yeah, c'est tout pour aujourd'hui. That's all for today. If you like this video, please give that thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Learn French and Anubhav. And if you have any doubt or suggestion, you may write that in the comment section below. You may also like my Facebook page by the same name, Learn French and Anubhav. See you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Au revoir. N'oubliez pas que la langue française est l'amour.